coming today. I'll let you know that we lost another one of our family members last night. Mr. King passed away at 6:30 last night. That's why Jane Harcum and her side of the family is not here this morning with us. So keep them in our prayers, remember them. So that's 4 members of our families we've lost so far. We lost Mrs. Peterson, Mrs. King, we lost Fred Doolittle, and now Mr. King. So we'll keep them in our prayers and thoughts in the future, we hope. We have a special guest with us today, Brigadier General Jerry Harris, that I'm sure most of you have met. He's going to do a special presentation for us. His assistant or aide, I didn't get your title, so I forget that. Sorry about that. Is Major Gallagher. The chaplain is going to do our services today for us. He is Captain Scott. And I'll turn that over to the chaplain.
It's an honor to be with you here today on this 70th anniversary. And I would like to welcome you to Arlington National Cemetery. May 13th, a couple of weeks ago, marked 150 years that our nation has chosen this place to honor its fallen warriors and patriots. These sacred grounds stand as a lasting tribute to the men and women who have faithfully served our nation. There are over 400,000 Americans buried here. Each name is etched and remembered in stone, and each stone is a brick in the foundation of freedom upon which we now stand. And I encourage everyone to remember this: no plot in Arlington National Cemetery can be purchased. Each must be earned. Please bow with me in prayer. Father, your word says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." So, Father, for these brave men and those who have passed recently, we ask for your comforting presence to be with us here today. Amen. The Olbinski Group belonged to the 4th Troop Carrier Squadron, 62nd Troop Carrier Group. In the Bible, in the book of Joshua, the 4th chapter, we read this: "So Joshua called together the 12 men he had appointed from the Israelites, one from each tribe, and said to them, 'Go over before the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan. Each of you is to take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of tribes of the Israelites, to serve as a sign among you. In the future, when your children ask, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord." The Israelites erected this stone monument so that the future generations would not forget the deeds of generations past. This monument serves a similar purpose, that those who come and will ask, "Why is this monument here?" can be reminded of the great sacrifice of the men who died 70 years ago today in the China, Burma, India theater of operations. U.S. Army Air Force crews in the CBI airlifted critical supplies from northeastern India over the high mountain ranges and snow-capped peaks that comprise the Himalayan mountains into China over a route known as the Hump. The mission was unprecedented. Flying over the Himalayas was extremely dangerous and made more difficult by a lack of reliable charts, an absence of radio navigation aids, few bases in the area, and a lack of information about the weather. Air crews literally flew into unmapped territory. The severe cold could freeze aircraft engines mid-flight, and the incredible turbulence caused the fast-changing high-velocity winds tossed these enormous aircraft around like feathers. The brave men, like those of the Olbinski Group, flew this treacherous route, allowing U.S. and Chinese ground forces to take the fight. to the enemy. On May 23rd, 1944, the crew of Army Air Force C-47 tail number 42-23510, 4th Troop Carrier Squadron, and 3 Special Operations troops from the Merrill's Marauders lifted off from the airfield in Dijon, India, on a mission to deliver desperately needed supplies to our troops as part of the war effort against the Japanese. These men never returned from that mission. John chapter 15, verse 13 tells us, greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. While it remains true that service members join to defend our nation, they fight to protect their friends. These men gave the ultimate sacrifice in defense of the freedoms that we hold dear today. And you, the families and friends of these brave men, know better than most that freedom is not free. You do well to remember to keep their service alive in your hearts. And these men represent our country's greatest generation, and we in uniform are honored to celebrate their service with you here today.
Great.